Fox News anchor Shannon Bream with Fox News Sunday is joining us now. Good morning.
Good morning, Shannon.
So I know that we'll have the sentencing and appeal process most likely, but looking ahead to November, what does all of this mean for the election? Will this conviction really impact the opinion of voters, if at all?
Right. So there was polling that showed us ahead of time. So you're asking people to do a hypothetical, and it's not always the most reliable thing in polling. I suspect now that we have a conviction, there'll be new polling. But there was a small percentage who said they'd be moved away from voting for President Trump. It was a tiny number, but still in a race this tight. A point or two, as you well know, we all know, can make a difference. So we'll see. But both sides today are claiming victory in some way. Of course, President Trump's opponents, the Biden-Harris campaign, saying this is good, showing the rule of law works, justice has been done. They believe they'll be able to tell voters, listen, don't waste your vote on a convicted felon come November. On the other side, Republicans, backers of President Trump, are saying they are fired up, and when people are angry and motivated, they show up. The fundraising is flowing in. So former president has vowed he's gonna fight this thing. And as one of the many lawyers who covered this case, I do think there's several things on appeal that have the potential to overturn this conviction. But of course, that would be sometime after the election.
And what about the reaction from the Biden camp? We know that Biden's team already encouraging people, hey, go express how you feel at the ballot box. But do we expect to hear more from them?
Yeah, and it was interesting to me that they were rather subdued yesterday, because there'd been talk of President Biden doing a big press conference after they got the result from the jury. How are they going to handle this? Will they start using the language every time they refer to President Trump as convicted felon Donald Trump? There's several things I think that factor in there. They don't want to be seen as the fact that this was in any way a trial that was motivated by politics or partisanship. There's also the fact that Hunter Biden is facing 2 federal criminal trials of his own, one that we may have a verdict before that first debate at the end of June, and another in September, closer to when people are actually going to start casting ballots. So I think that they know they have to be very careful with the messaging and the language that they use.
Let's talk about your guests for Sunday, because you've got some big names coming on, and of course this will be the topic of discussion.
So, of course, we had 2 of our favorite legal eagles booked, because verdict or not, there's still plenty to talk about there. And now what comes next and what options the former president has. We'll talk through all of that. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson joins us to talk about the political fallout. We've also got Democrat Congressman Ro Khanna to talk about some really tough polls for President Biden out this week. But we've also got Senator Tim Scott. He's allegedly on the short list for VP. Will he join President Trump on the ticket? So lots to get through Sunday.
Yep, a lot to follow. Shannon, thanks so much. Fox News Sunday with Shannon Bream airs right here on Sunday at 8 o'clock. We'll see you there.